people, and welcome to Brave Talk with Nurse B. I remain your amazing host. Welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you and thank you. And if you're tuning in for the first time, thank you and welcome once again to our beautiful and little community. You'd definitely enjoy the content which we post out. So keep liking, subscribe please, subscribe to our channel, turn on your notification bell so you can be the first to know when we post amazing and exciting content. So on today's video, I'll be talking about therapy. Therapy, what basically therapy is all about, everything it entails. And let me put this here, this is just my opinion, personal and professional experience. So what comes to your mind when you hear the word therapy? I know there are several myths and misconceptions when people hear that word, and it makes them skeptical about visiting the therapist. Also, I know it creates social stigma, and this hinder people from trying to do such and from trying to visit their therapist. I know in Africa, we hardly find it difficult to seek for help. People find it difficult to talk about things that they are going through. They see it as a form of weakness. When you see, or when you tell people, why not visit the therapist and see if you can get help from them, they see it as a sign of weakness, as a sign that that person is not doing well, which is not supposed to be so. So it is okay to not figure out everything out at once. It is okay. It is also important to know that it is not okay to remain in that state of uncertainty. It is not okay at all. You need someone to help you. You need someone to guide you to make the best decisions. You need someone to help you find the right path. That's the word, finding the right path. So the same way we visit the doctor, the medical doctor, when we have any physical conditions, is the same thing when we visit a trained personnel, a therapist. It's definitely the same thing. It's just in different form. The medical doctor is trained on the physical aspect, and the therapists also are trained on this part, on this aspect also. So who then is a therapist? In simple terms, a therapist is just a trained personnel who who guides you to make certain decisions. They help you to see how your feelings, your thoughts, and your decisions, to see how they affect each other and how they come across to become an action. Let me come again. They help you to see how your feelings, your thoughts, and your actions, how they affect each other. Whatever you feel, how does it affect what you do? So that's basically what a therapist is in summary. So the difference in you going to meet any person to help you, probably you need help and you need to speak to someone, and a professionally trained personnel, is that they recognize the lapses, they recognize where you need help. That's just the difference between a professionally trained person and someone who is not professionally trained. And this is not to say you can't go and meet, no, you can't tell me that it's anytime I need to speak to someone, or probably I need an advice, I'll have to go and see the therapist. No, that's not what I mean. It's just in certain instances, which I'm going to be saying later on, in certain instances, if you find yourself in this situation, in this box, you should know that you're not just going to see any person, but a therapist. So depending on the situation, we have subsets to this thing. There is the child therapist, there is the cognitive, there is the financial, where probably you need help in terms of the financial aspect and also career. And an interesting thing is we have faith-based therapists. Faith-based, yeah. Christianity, yeah. So what the Bible says about it is important to receive counsel, wise counsel. So the Bible is not against it, and we have faith-based therapists. So at what point do you need a therapist? I've been saying it on and on, or you do this. So at what point do you know that I need to visit a therapist and not just see any random person? Number one that I have is uncontrollable anger or sadness. So as humans, definitely we get angry, but that doesn't mean that anger should not take the best out of you. So when the anger is uncontrollable, you know definitely that, oh, you need help. You need someone to guide you to make certain decisions. So when we get angry, it's normal. I do get angry at times, but that anger shouldn't take the best out of you, shouldn't make you do certain things that are going to be detrimental. Yeah. So at that point, when you find yourself doing things because of anger or sadness, you know definitely you need to see a therapist. So the next one I would say is when you engage in addictive or self-destructive habits. Yeah, the word addictive, things that are also detrimental. When you keep engaging in it, when you keep doing things just to suit some particular side of you, we as humans, we dare confrontation, and so we intend to engage in certain habits. We intend to engage in things, probably, oh, you don't want people to confront you about your bad habits, so you tend to engage in addictive things. That's not good enough. So at that point, you know, oh, you need to see a therapist. Also, I would say when our relationships are suffering, when your relationships are suffering, it might be platonic relationship, it might be your spouse or anybody. So in this part, when you isolate yourself from people, when you don't want to engage, probably don't want to engage on social media, you delete your social media accounts for months, for years, when you don't necessarily want to talk or to engage with people, at that point, you know you definitely need help. You definitely need to see a therapist, because we can't do life alone. I know we can't do life alone. You definitely need to engage with people. You need to go to parties. You need to relax now. You need to relax. So if you feel, when you get to that point that you don't see these things as necessary, when you get to that point where you don't see these things as necessary, at that point, I think seeing a therapist will be the best solution. And this is not to say that there are times in our life we probably want to reflect. There are times we probably want to be alone. It's not all the time you want to associate with people. Probably a certain month you just want to declare it for yourself, for your personal growth or anything, and you want to reflect. Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all. But it's when you get to a stage where you isolate from people for a long duration of time, that is when I would advise you either see a therapist. And finally, I think there are a lot of points, but for the purpose of this video, I would say when there is a disconnect between the outer world and the inner world, you know, the soul and the mind, when there is a disconnect between it, you know, there are times that you see people outside, but they are not in their full term, they're not in their 100%, they're not active enough. When there is a disconnect with that, to this effect, I want us to take a small task. I want you to breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Close your eyes. Sit down, get a relaxing spot, and close your eyes. ask yourself, who am I? I'm not saying who are you, like what's your name or what do you do. Who really are you? And what problem are you called to solve? And how do you deliver the purpose? These are great questions I really want us to ponder on. Do you know who you are? What is your identity? What problem are you called to solve? And how do you deliver that purpose? I'll leave us to ponder on that. In all of this, our actions is the result of our mindsets. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Whatever we allow to germinate in our hearts, that is what we do, that's what we carry out as actions, and that is what we say. There are certain times that we have instilled certain things in our mind based on experiences, based on previous experience, based on fear. And these things have piled up in our hearts over time. And we tend to act that way, not seeing it as a problem. Sometimes people say, oh, this is how I've been doing it, or this is how I was taught at home, or because of that, there's certain childhood traumas and childhood experiences that we've gone through that we need someone to help us uninstall it. There's certain childhood trauma that a lot of us have gone through that we don't even know it's a problem. Yeah, because if we start listing it, even you begin to ask yourself, is this really a problem? I thought it was normal. One of it is not being able to ask for help. Yeah, not being able to ask for help. You need someone to help us uninstall this experiences, this fear, before we begin to pass it to the next generation. And I know life is cyclical. There will definitely be ups and downs. Yeah, there are times where you feel down. There are times when you feel elated. It's normal. Life is in circle. The Bible also says, count it all joy when we go through diverse trials. So this is not to say anytime you're in a situation, you run to the therapist. No. Calm down. Calm down. It's normal. We have times when there is ups and middle and down season. We have it. It's normal. And I know we all want to find happiness. Yeah. We all want to find fulfillment, and we all want to find peace. I also want to find fulfillment. I want to find peace and happiness. But in the long run, the spirit and the mind shouldn't be disconnected at all. So in all of this, there are actions we need to take. In times when, I said previously that when we find ourselves in this situation, in low moments and in down times, what do? Prayer is the number one go-to for me personally. Prayer is the number one go-to. When I'm down, when I feel, I need help in certain things, maybe I'm at a crossroad and I need help to go through it, I go on my knees and pray, definitely, to my Father who has a listening here. So prayer is my number one go-to. Positive affirmation. Yeah. Positive affirmation. I know I said earlier, even in all of these, positive affirmation and also seeking help. I declare, I say positive things to myself that, I know I'm going to go through this. I know this is a done deal for me, but then I still seek for help. Also meditation, asking ourselves, what have I done wrong? Where have I missed it? Is there anything I need to change about myself? So those are the little things that I feel can help in times when we are down, times when we are at the crossroad. So in all of this, if you now feel this can help you, then you need someone to hold your hands. Yeah. And lastly, I would just like to say, sometimes I see on social media when people talk about some certain things and ask for opinion from the public in general. Personally, I feel shouldn't be so. Let's say someone is going through a crisis in a home or something, and you bring it to the general public. A lot of people will give you advice based on their experiences, based on their trauma, and based on things they've not healed from. And if you see this, you probably feel that's the best solution. I don't think that's the best solution. When you are going through anything, it's better to seek help from someone who is professionally trained. Then you can come on social media too, because you know you have a preformed idea already, you know what you want to do. Then you can come on social media to ask questions, not in your state of confusion, not that. So that's all I have for us. I would want you to drop in the comment section, what are your thoughts exactly? Do you feel it's a good idea or a bad idea? And if you have visited any therapists in the past, how have they been of help? And yeah, I would love to read your comments and also add my 1 or 2 opinions. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Thank you and bye.